5v5 before we get into the finals, which will be tomorrow in a best of 5. But getting into these bans, Jax will be the first ban out, has so far shown in this tournament to be invaluable as a top lane pick.
Yeah, but this is weird because I keep mentioning it. It hasn't come out yet, but Ryu actually has a really good Renekton. And if there is a champion that can still take it to Jax in the early game, I feel it is a Crocodile up in the top lane.
Actually, I'm surprised that we haven't seen any Renekton at all. Renekton is super strong, one of those champions that hasn't been changed yet. But if Raider wants to show that he has indeed the best bot lane at this tournament, they need to ban the Bard and not pick Kog'Maw.
Yeah, a little bit surprised we haven't seen the Renekton down under, but either way, we do have Elise coming out as the next ban from TCL, which would be Turkey, and Rek'Sai as well, followed up by Kindred coming in from the OPL squad.
Yeah, and the Kindred's been banned a couple of times away from Crystal, which is really strange because we saw him pick it up once. It wasn't very successful. Didn't seem like he was exactly on point with it, but then again, it could go other places because if we saw anything out of the Turkish lineup in the 1v1, it was that they just like to play Kindred.
That's very true, and we've actually seen not a lot of Kindred. I actually thought we were going to see way more Kindred in the 5v5s considering how strong it was, especially before 5-2-2. Just an incredibly strong champion in the 5v5 format.
There we go, that Bard ban though has to be there. Like I can't imagine, like there's no better Bard player I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of competitive games.
Well, Bard off the table, and so will be Malphite as well. Interesting ban out there. I know Faljan thinks it's very strong, but Jax is off the table. Maybe it's also against the other top lane picks that can build the Gwynsus. That has, however, left open Mundo. Remember, other power picks such as Misfortuna staying out here, but Mundo so far has proven to be very strong.
Yeah, it certainly has, and we do know that Carbon does like to play it. We've seen it time and time again in solo queue. It was banned out in the semi-finals by the Direwolves, as Rusty mentioned earlier. So I do think he can play. Didn't have a great performance. Maybe if he power farms a little bit earlier in the game, we'll be able to make good things happen.
Even though we do have the power picks like Misfortune open, I do think Mundo is the correct one, simply because of the Rek'Sai ban and the Elise ban. That leaves Mundo to be the strongest jungler available on the Rift.
Yeah, I would actually like to see Carbon change up his playstyle as well. Last time we saw him play Mundo, he kept visiting the mid lane. I'd like him just to go the fire route, just go to the jungle, farm up, literally get level 6 before your laners and become this unkillable threat when you get to the late game. Every time you die, just puts Mundo further and further behind. However, there might be an answer to that because Fiora has just been locked in, most likely going to the top lane for Faljan, and Lise in the jungle. Crystal is going to go ham.
Yeah, and I actually want to see Ryu's face because I know he was dying to get a Fiora game in, but it looks like they might be challenging him to the Ryze pickup. Fiora Ryze is actually quite an intricate lane, so we'll see whether he does want to rise to the occasion and take it into the top lane.
It is a very, very dynamic matchup, the Ryze. Like, when I think of Ryze, there is not a lot of champions in the top lane that are good against it. That's why I kind of like Ryu, because he's the only one that has actually shown that he plays Ryze in the top lane.
Yeah, and as far as split pushing late game goes, Ryze is one of the champions that can actually stand toe-to-toe with Fiora and make sure that she cannot bully you out of that lane. So I really would like to see them go towards that. Carbon is a huge Poppy jungle player, by the way. That's why I like him so much. I also play that. So.
Oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to the Poppy rework, so she's finally useful again.
I was so hyped for the Poppy jungle, but will be swapped away at the last second, toying with the hearts of all the fans here in the venue. And Thresh has been picked up along with Kalista. The Shadow Isles bot lane has been locked in, and once again, the Teemo hover.
I'm kind of hoping that Turkey doesn't reveal their mid lane right now, and they just pick the bot lane to counter the Kalista Thresh. And I'm thinking Alistar, Lucian, and just dominate it.
Oh, we'll see if that is what's going to come out. Misfortune locked in, and as we mentioned, managed to get through the banning phase. Will be picked up here by Holy Phoenix, and the Morgana as well. Will be a flex, can go mid or a bot lane for Dumbledore. Remains to be seen. I'm just waiting on the final 2 picks from Oceania.
Yeah, and with Misfortune up, taking Kalista, I feel, really is like throwing the gauntlet down because one survives like really well off those like quick bursty trades with the double up, with swapping targets very frequently in Misfortune, whereas Radiant needs to get multiple auto attacks in to actually get something done. So I'm expecting fireworks as well. This really is going... They'll prove whether they're the best or not. It's going to go one way or the other real quick.
I just really like the Turkish draft. Like, once again, they've secured themselves strong matchups in every lane. We're expecting the Ryze, sure, they might happen some things in the top lane, but once again, they have the possibility to snowball any lane they would like.
Yeah, seeing so many strong mid laners as well in this tournament. I love seeing just a final pick from Red side always go towards that mid laner. Just give them a little more flexibility. Saw how great that was on some of the other mid laners such as Sarah, such as Saya. Ryze will be locked in. You were literally just talking about that one, Yamato, and the Victor for the mid lane.
Yeah, 2 comfort picks straight away, you know. Choo-Choo's, we've said that even though he likes to play Assassins, is more of a control mage at this point in time, has had a lot of success on the Victor, and Ryu on the rise. It's what he really made a killing with in the OPL, so we'll see whether he is able to take it to Tholdren. Tholdren, a player that on the international stage just continues to impress. For someone that, you know, more known for his voice on the team, really does show up in these big matches.
I love also the champions they are hovering right now. They're just showing all these options, like Azir works perfectly because it's going to be so hard for the OPL lineup to reach him. The Mundus is going to throw cleavers, maybe a hook might slip in there, but it's very, very hard to catch the Azir.
Certainly is. One thing I do want to point out, though, is how quick the OPL's Baron and objective controls are. Mundo, Kalista, Rise. If they ever get a foot in on this, they should be able to run away with a game really quickly. And wow, that's an aggressive pick out of Naru.
Yeah, Diana comes in as the final pickup, looking just to assassinate the Rise in the mid lane, or rather the Victor in the mid lane, and these squishy picks.
Where's the wave clear at?
The last time we saw Diana in this tournament, I also thought it was a horrible pick. It was the G4 playing the Diana, and they had this composition that had absolutely no wave clear, as you just said, Spawn. And
they lost the game.
And they lost. And then again, they're playing against the Rise. They could have kited him so well, but now they have to dive into him.
Yeah, I certainly agree. That is a bizarre pick from Naru, but as we said, this is just for spoiler, just for a little bit of, I guess, revenge. You see Ryu on the screen having a couple of deep breaths, you have to say. He didn't look the most confident.
No, I mean, I'm not sure if I would be if I was up there as well, but the Diana, yeah, it's an interesting pickup coming into the mid lane. Also gone for the Ignite, so he's looking for the kills to happen. Remember, Crystal is on the Lee Sin as well, so apparently just looking to snowball the early game and not letting Rise and Victor hit their big power spikes.
I feel like the mindset of Naru to pick Diana is simply because he can buy Abyssal Scepter, which is very cost efficient against the Rise and the Victor. And as soon as they get into team fights, all they have to do is just push the Fiora and the Diana on top of the Kalista.
Yeah, I also think what they recognized is that their split push was kind of answered by the Rise. So now they're going to run 1-3-1. Now they can just take the Diana into the bottom lane. Who the heck goes against that?
Beautiful idea. I like it. I'm super happy he swapped out that summoner because the teleport is super important on Diana.
Yeah, that is a big deal. So we'll be teleport going on to Diana in the mid lane, literally seconds away from getting into our final 5v5 today. The second to last day of the International Wildcard All-Star here in Melbourne. And about to get into this. Literally, it will just be OCE trying to play spoiler up against the Turkish squad who have already locked in their place in the final.
Yeah, and you see the crowd reacting to the Oceanic team. Carbon eats a bind.
Not a good start.
Now he knows where Double Doge is. Oh, and they got first CS. Ooh. What's your answer to that?
Well, they're ahead. They're known for the strong early game ward killing.
And you're not wrong. Valdrin will answer the push by OPL and place down an additional 2 wards into the OCE jungle. Meanwhile, Carbon and Ryu are going to head into this top jungle. Those have been sighted by those wards. However, in the darkness,
so bad.
Valdrin and Crystal
Ryu,
is about to turn the corner.
Well,
places
now
down the ward. This is not looking good for the life prospects for Rise. Has to flash away, and will also have to recall, so going to be late to that minion wave as well, and also burns the teleport.
He has enough time. He has enough time. But like seeing this start, already we have flashbacks from the previous game Turkey played. It was all about that top lane, sending Crystal up there, and I think this is going to be an exact copy of that.
Yeah, I 100% agree, especially now the flash and teleport are blown on the Rise. Means that Crystal can just do exactly what he did last time against Brazil and just snowball the early part of the game.
More aggression coming into the bot side. Holy Phoenix and Dumbledore is trying to interrupt the Krug start. But it wasn't just the bot lane taking the Krugs. Mundo was also there, starting in that bot side of the jungle, getting the leash rather than going for a different type of start. Ryu was not able to help him if he wanted a double jungle.
And all of a sudden, Crystal's positioning on the map becomes super important because Carbon is on the wrong side of the jungle for Mundo. He goes incredibly low on his first clear. Lee Sin, on the other hand, stays very healthy.
I think it all comes down to Ryu's patience in this lane. He has to make sure the lane slow pushes towards him so that Mundo can get the full clear that he loves to do. Just take all the jungle camps, get the level advantage, and then come in the top lane.
These bot laners, though, going toe-to-toe already. Lots of trading going on. No one's going to die just yet, but slight advantage to the Turkey side. And Crystal, just in the jungle, as you mentioned, should be fairly sustained through this start. Did start on the top side. Carbon, meanwhile, will trug along But looks like he's going to go for a full clear as well, which I actually do like. As we mentioned in Champion Select, I really just wanted to see Carbon go for a sustained early clear and just clear the jungle.
Yeah, and it looks like he is staying reasonably healthy. Is out of potion, and Crystal will invade here. Maybe just stop for a Rift Scuttler on the way. But that bottom lane already, Oceania is falling behind in CS. It's 14-9. It's like they forgot to just hit the first wave.
But this is such a hard bot lane for the OPL lineup, simply because the MF favors these small, short trades, while Kalista wants to get in there while the Thresh CCs. But with the Black Shield coming in, the MF can just tag in, tag out, which is perfect for him.
Mid lane, Crystal potentially looking for a gank here. Carbon was opting towards his blue buff, but now knows it's warded by Crystal. However, Carbon also saw Crystal since he smited the Merc Wolves. Crystal will be heading to mid lane, connects to Q. The sidestep does go awry for Choo-Choos, but is able to get out without burning a Summoner.
Certainly is. So that will give a slight advantage over to Naru. He should be losing the lane a little bit heavier just because of the Q augmented auto attack. Really does give Diana a little bit of problem in the early game. So anything Naru can get at this stage is pretty much a bonus until he can go back teleport and get back into lanes.
Well, Hook lands in the bot lane. The play comes back with Dumbledore dropping a little bit low, but Holy Phoenix returning fire onto Radier. He will just carry on farming. There comes the Rend just for a little bit more damage on the way out, but definitely the bottom lane of Turkey getting the head start. All that damage from Double Up is actually disgusting.
It is going to be so dangerous for the OPL lineup. Simply it's going to have a Kalista that is going to fall behind. On the other side, they have the Victor and the Rise that is full magical damage. And of course, Naru is just going to build the Abyssal Scepter, and the Hex Drinker might come up on Tal'Darim.
Yeah, definitely difficult itemization choices as the game progresses. And in many of the jungle starts, I've actually not been too impressed with the jungle starts, because I've seen a lot of people go for the Hunter's Potion when they didn't really need to. And I'd like to see if Carbon or Crystal do the same thing. Fairly unlikely for Carbon to do so, as he does not need the mana regen. But even on champions like Gragas, we've seen a lot of Hunter's Potion people take
Yeah, it's kind of a weird item, but we have some action down here. Radio looking to get aggressive onto Holy Phoenix, but takes a lot back in return. And all of a sudden, Crystal looking for a gank.
Yeah, literally one Q landing onto either Ejim or Radier will result in a kill for Crystal. And it literally just has to come down to the dodging ability and reaction times. But I believe this has been read out by Carbon. Carbon's coming in, the flash forwards looking for the Rend onto Holy Phoenix, but the first blood comes in before he can even get the Rend down. Carbon looking for this kill, slowly edging towards Holy Phoenix, but Crystal is body blocking for him, then uses him as a jumping post for safeguard. And Dumbledore is still healthy. That was so well played by the Turkish lineup.
Yeah, it certainly was, but what the heck, Raider? Just wait half a second longer. Carbon was there for the counter gank, would have been able to cut off Holy Phoenix. Instead, he can go back through the lane. And that was just like half a second too soon.
Yeah, I don't understand, Spawn.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
That's why I'm not speaking. I have nothing to add there, because it's just a question of timing. A similar thing happened in the Brazil game as well. You just wait for your Mundo a bit, let him take that extra camp, which he just loves doing, and then he's going to be there. All right, patience is a virtue.
Yeah, and especially because they had all summoner spells available. They had the heal, they had both flashes, as well as an exhaust. So if Lee Sin lands that Q, it's actually a trap, because going in there, he's not going to get the execute because of the exhaust, because of the heal. Really think Oceania should have played that one a little bit safer.
And it's so important as well, because already now it's kind of shaping up with Turkey's type of game. They have advantages in every lane. We see CS advantages all over the place.
Yeah, CS advantage all over the place. Bottom lane slice advantage off the back of that kill, plus mid lane. Actually, Naru has the upper hand over Choo-Choos in the mid lane, despite basically no jungler intervention, just been out farming the Victor. Top lane as well, advantage to Faldrin. Bot lane, more action once again. I feel like I've seen this one before.
Here
the gank now coming in from Crystal, lands the Q onto Ejim. Not quite the target you want. I believe he still has his play up as well, so would choose not to go full Lee Syndrome on this one.
And that double up from Holy Phoenix was literally like millimeters away from taking even more life off Radius health bar. Still setting up for this dive, because they know the Mundo can't be there in time, and OPL's bottom lane, they talk the talk really well. They even made me a believer.
Oh, the hook onto Holy Things though before the Black Shield comes out, and Radiant looking to follow up here. And the teleport now coming in from the mid lane through onto Choo-Choos. Likewise, another follow-up from the teleport, but Crystal's gone in. He's gone deep. Will safeguard away back to the Fiora. Meanwhile, Dumbledore picks up the kill onto Radiant. And Naru actually starts rowing down to the bottom lane. Yet another kill and another fumble by the OPL.
They're just going to gain so much. Naru is still pushing mid. hitting that tower while the power play on bottom is still working out. Rise up top. He's not going to hit the tower for a lot of damage.
No, he is not. He is taking that tower very slowly. Actually hasn't even damaged the turret yet.
I think this is the first time he sees the turret. Yeah. The way he's been pushed in without summoners.
He's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, places down the gravity field, and actually Spellamine, that was so good by Valdrin. But Choo-Choo's may get away here. Actually gets a small heal coming in from the Biscuit. But where do you go? You can't go up, you can't go left. Stuck in the middle with Naru. Picks up the kill, and 3-0.
Yeah, and I kind of think Choo-Choo should have just been like, you know what, Ryu, it's your lane. I don't really care about it. Tell me easy kill.
You deal with this one, buddy.
Naru, please stay out of my lane. But instead, he gives one over to his lane opponent. Does a good guy thing.
Why not? The Rise is the one true hope. He has caught up in CS, got to hit the tower a bit. Maybe that is what is going to keep the OPL lineup in the game.
I certainly hope so, Yamato. Thank you for some hope.
Yeah, I had faith. My faith is waning currently. But Ryu in the top lane has picked up his core item build, has the tier and Catalyst. So as long as he starts stacking in about 20-30 minutes time, hopefully Ryu can go 1v5. Because currently mid lane is not going well, bot lane is equally not going well, and Holy Phoenix is going 1v2.
Yeah, he certainly is, and the one hope of the Oceanic squad, as you can hear the chants still, is that top lane rise. We keep mentioning this is a position that Ryu is maybe a little bit too familiar with. He really is a good solo carrier in his team, and Crystal's responded to that by coming up here for a gank.
There's also another shining light on the OPL lineup. This Carbon, he has a level advantage on Crystal. They can still fight 2v2 up top, but the problem is now, Naru's going to be pushing mid and the TP's coming up.
There's a lot of damage by Carbon. The early game damage coming in from Masochism and the Q is a lot, but Crystal is able to make his way out still, level 6. So had the kick, just if necessary. But Carbon at least did read the aggression from Crystal, so top lane is under no troubles. And Carbon doing the right thing as well. He has been farming out the jungle for the most part and hanging around looking for those counter ganks as Mundo.
Yeah, he certainly has. It's more the impatience of the bottom lane, I want to call it at this stage, that it's cost Oceania so much, and Ejim's being caught again.
Oh, such a good hook from Ejim. Won't be able to result in anything, but literally baited out the hook onto Dumbledore and switched directions at the last second onto Holy Phoenix. However, Radier is just kind of behind right now, so can't go for those trades. Yeah,
and you understand that Dumbledore knows the matchup. Normally, you would black shield yourself straight away because you think you're going to come under fire. He doesn't really care. He's nice and tanky because he picked up the early Sightstone. He gets hooked again, though.
Ejim on point with the hooks, but again, very little follow-up. The binding comes out. Holy Phoenix splits up the fight with bullet time.
That's a turret as well. Crystal is here to add even more pressure into the Oceanic lineup, and they just have to run.
Yeah, I mean, Crystal has nothing else to do right now apart from go bot lane. The bottom jungle is basically cleared out. He does have the blue buff to go to, but Naru can take that himself. He's a strong, independent mid laner. He'll head into his bottom jungle.
Since we have that top lane matchup that is so even for the OPL side, they have the riots going on, maybe he's pushing out the wave. What I want Turkey to do now, push out bot lane, take the dragon, and then just swap the lanes. Take the Rift Herald and pressure all of the map with his MF that is super strong.
Yeah, I completely agree. Right now, if the Turkish lineup does take dragon, there is nothing on the bottom side of the map. So instead, they're looking to make a play right now with Carbon, with Ryu.
They're going to give it a go onto Valdrin. Looks for the stun knockdown, activates the grand challenge, but will go down before that even resolves. Wasn't able to get a single auto onto Carbon. So the first kill goes over to OC, a glimmer of hope, and Ryu still strong as the single hope for OCE.
Yeah, and this is the thing. They've got one hope in this game right now, and it is the Rise. And, you know, the lane swap that you were looking for, Yamato, is coming in right now, but Naru needs to be careful.
I feel like it was a massive blunder to die to that gang. Maybe he's going to die to this one as well.
Oh, the damage onto Carbon. He'll go down, and so will Diana. Once again, Ryu comes out on top, but the damage in from Holy Phoenix. Why is there an AD carry in my lane, he's saying, and he will be backing off the turret before recalling.
But Ryu still has enough mana to turn around and kill Holy Phoenix. They need to take a second person up there, because otherwise this is going to be a 3-kill Rise. You can see right now, he's not scared of this lane one bit.
No, but Holy Phoenix is very strong. He is itemized quite well, has the BF sword and the crit cloak. And we'll just be pushing up here. He is slowly running out of mana on Ryu, and we'll head back to base. But that means that Valdrin now goes into the bottom lane 1v2.
I feel like that entire sequence kind of showed like one mistake kind of snowballing into another mistake that gave OPL a bit of hope, simply because they had the depoys on the red side of the blue side jungle. Then you kind of have to predict the Mundo dive. The TP needs to come in earlier, and you need to kind of back up from the turret.
I completely agree. There was nowhere else for Mundo to be on the map at that stage of the game. You know, they just dove bottom lane, they'd warded up Dragon, they knew he wasn't mid, so he was definitely going to help out Ryu. And you say a little bit of hope, even though this is like a 2,000 gold lead and a lot of map pressure, that is a 2-0-0, 100 CS rise at 13 minutes with a completed roll-up.
Well, he's looking to go in on Holy Phoenix. That's already a lot of damage and forces the flash from the AD carry. The return fire is not that much. Double up doesn't do all that much damage on one target. Carbon now chasing after Holy Phoenix. Will have to take the lantern to safety, but Dumbledore's caught in the middle of no man's land. A big bullet time comes out, and the heal from Radiant saves Rise at the last second. Choo-Choo's going in though, picks up the kill with the Chaos Storm, resulting in a 1-0.
And gentlemen, I want to remind you of a game against Brazil yesterday where Oceania did the exact same thing, baited an enemy into a false sense of security, and then took it all away. Certainly looking like they have something left in the tank.
Even though the play was good for the OPL lineup, we can see Naru pushing in the mid lane.
Well, Ejim going deep onto Crystal, looking for the Q, Radit, perfectly timed Fate's call, and that will also be a cancel teleport. Meanwhile, Naru will take the opportunity to jump onto Choo-Choo's, flashes away from the gravity field, saw Carbon up to the upper side of mid lane. That has left bottom open, and Ryu will be filling in the blanks.
Certainly we're looking for even more farm. All of a sudden, Thaldrum wants to steal away the red buff here. Probably will be successful. And I feel we're going to have our first lull of the game because we've had a lot of chaos, and Turkey will realize right now, hey, we had this game in the bag. Like, there was probably nothing Oceania could do apart from that play in top lane, and we just let them have it. So let's slow down, let's recognize our win conditions and see if we can get it back together.
Yeah, now going for the Rift Herald, OPL will be going for that objective. But taking a step back for a second, because we've had a bunch of action in the first 14 minutes. Some of the item builds have started to come into focus. The mid lane has picked up the Nash's Tooth now for Naru, also looking towards, actually going to hold that thought for a second as Holy Phoenix is aggressing, looking for this kill. Naru jumps onto Ejim, that is so much damage, picks up that kill with the Lunar Rush, and that is the kill going over to the Turkey lineup, but Rift did go over to OPL.
Yeah, probably still not worth there as we give another kill over to Naru in that mid lane. He's already got a huge CS advantage. He crushed down that turret. And, you know, we said 1-3-1. This is going to be the aim of the game. Ryze can respond to Fiora, who is going to go to the Diana. And right now, it does not look like there is an answer for Naru.
I feel like the biggest issue that the OPL lineup is going to run into is the fact that the Kalista is so weak, so Turkey just has to stack him more. Buy the Aegis, buy the Abyssal, and eventually buy the Spirit Visage on Thaldrum. And there's no threat of Kalista DPS right now. There's just a Hurricane on her.
Yeah, Radiant now in this 1-versus-1 against Holy Phoenix. 2-level differential between these two AD carries. This will be very difficult to go for this one-on-one, but both supports are off in the wings waiting, and Dumbledore clears out this pink ward, so Ejim knows where he is. Meanwhile, Crystal is also waiting in the wings. So is the jungler and mid lane. It looks like a fight is going to open up literally over blue, but Crystal gets hooked in first. Carbon looking for the kill. Raydeer is going to be the one to pick it up. Bullet time coming in, looking to clear out this blue up. Not even sure who that one went to. And Carbon still with the ultimate running. Should be able to get out of here. Naru looking for a kill. Jumps on Ejim, but the face call will save him. Meanwhile, Carbon still up to the upper side of this fight. Holy Phoenix looking to get a retribution kill, but the Lantern will bring him to safety. A 1-0 over to OCE.
Yeah, OCE still able to claw their way back into this game. It looked like once again Turkey was going to make a proactive play onto a blue buff. What an ultimate out of Holy Phoenix, but just centimeters of health kept Carbon alive.
Turkey keeps making these overextensions where people die and the Lantern keeps saving people. Maybe it's starting to become frustrating for the Turkish lineup. They need to have the same patience we saw in the Brazil game, because there's a lot of late game threats on the OPL lineup.
Well, we said in Champion Select, or rather more accurately, you said in Champion Select, Yamato, that you didn't like the Diana pick, but there's now 3-1. What do you make of that?
Well, to be fair, there was a lot of things that kind of made it work. The ganks on the Choo-Choo that made them base, and also the fights on bot lane, which kind of secured the kills. There's a lot of aspects that go to this Diana.
Yeah, I feel like randomly walking through your jungle as mid laner is definitely one of them that is just going to not lead to good things. And Choo's actually doing the right thing now, clears out some vision.
Now taking this one away in his own jungle. Dragon is now alive, the second one of the game. Should be able to contest or maybe not contest at all. This will be taken out by Turkey. The risk scuffle as well. Holy Phoenix actually alternating damage between the two objectives to increase damage on both of them with the double tap, with a love tap passive rather. Radiant, Carbon, and Ejim looking to take this top turret in response. And if they take it down, this will be 100% worth for the OCE lineup.
Yeah, 100%. And once again, Turkey has made a very predictable play onto a Dragon objective. Sure, they're on 2, but Oceania make the right cross-map call. Get 3/4 of health away from that turret. If they come back and get it within the next couple of minutes, that will be more than enough.
It is very, very important for the OPL lineup to just try to trade objectives, because right now the Turkish lineup is reaching power spikes like the Abyssal, soon the Static Shift or the Fire Cannon on Misfortune. They have to avoid fights at all costs to reach that late game.
Yeah, they certainly do. They need to keep Ryu in the bottom lane is what they need to do and just get some farm. But Choose
has been found out in the mid lane, but does flash away. Holy Phoenix backing off, taking damage from that Chaos Storm, down to about 40%. He's still in kill range, dodges out the Death Ray. Ejim gets caught by the binding. Oh, catches him with the dark binding and the death senses. Crystal looking after Ejim. Bullet time comes out, only really tags him on the way out, but the Q somehow connects, and that will be the kill over to Crystal.
What the heck? Holy Phoenix still going with this. Meanwhile, we saw a scuffle in the bottom lane between Ryu and Tholdrin, and Ryu's definitely getting the better of that matchup. Sorry, it was against Naru. The 3-1 Diana can't even go up against Araya, so that's definitely all the eggs, one basket. Let's go, boys.
Yep. All in.
And now we start to understand why the Diana made little sense. She struggles against Ryze. Ryze loves it when people run into him. He's just firing his abilities right in front of him. He has a relatively short range, perfect against melee champions.
Perfect indeed. Is definitely working out as an answer to that pick so far, Yamato. Meanwhile, Carbon in his jungle just continuing to farm out, has picked up the Cinder Hulk and the Stalker's Blade as well. So we were talking so much about the skirmishes, but every single Mundo we see picks up a different jungle item that is in skirmishes.
Yeah, they certainly do, and I feel that it's whether you're up or down. If you're really snowballing the game, Red Smite gives you so much extra damage. What Carbon wanted to do was enable Ryu, so the Blue Smite actually makes a lot of sense. Trackers, I feel, is if you want to keep someone out of your jungle. We talk about the relatively weak clear in falling a little bit low in health if you do put it on power farm. And I actually like that adaptation, because you just ward the 2 entrances, no one can come in.
And also from the Blue Smite, the slow is very, very effective against any champion on the Turkish lineup, except, of course, the Lee Sin, who's very, very mobile. If you slow down the MF, she doesn't have any escapes. It's perfect for her as well.
Working it out perfectly. Rapid Fire Cannon has been completed by Holy Phoenix, so we'll get the extended range on the energized auto attack. Carbon Choo-Choo's Ejim pushing down the mid lane. Double Dote, however, should be able to clear this minion wave out. However, forgot he was support, probably won't be. But Holy Phoenix is there to back him up. So is Crystal. Death Sentence, or rather, the Dark Passage comes out.
Oh, 40% slow on those stones.
Oh, the hook landing onto Double Dote, instantly deleted out there. Crystal connects to Q. Don't think he wants to go for the resonating strike though. The flash comes in. That will be the Rune Prison going on to Holy Phoenix, but will be flashed away once again, burning all those summoners. Carbon has activated his ultimate. He wants to go for the engages on Ejim to connect a hook if he wants a fight to happen. Connects onto the minion. Does not choose to go in, maybe able to pull the trigger. However, in the back line, Diana looking for the kill. Tholdrin, however, goes in way too early, and Radiant brings in a support to assist him. The exhaust comes out, bullet time comes down, but that's instantly interrupted. Naru dropping low. Carbon wants his kill, but he is detonated by Naru, and that's a 1-0 fight over to the Turkish team.
And not only that, they swapped the mid lane tier 1 turret for a bottom lane tier 2, and with this 1-3-1 split push, any pressure you can get on the bottom side of the map just becomes so much more important because of where Baron is located.
And even though the Turkish lineup ended up ahead after this battle, I felt like they could have even played it better and punished OPL even harder. So I'm happy that it just ended in 1 kill for OPL's sake.
even harder. Ryu heading into the top lane. Holy Phoenix is farming
he
up
wants
the
Holy
store.
Phoenix. He's still going around.
The Predator stalks his prey and has activated his ultimate for the extra movement speed. Holy Phoenix is going to go into the bush, but there's already a ward there. That's not going to help him too much. Looking for this Rune Prison to go down. And now all of the spells come out. The machine gun caster, that is Ryze, takes down Misfortune. That wasn't even really a contest.
And this is what we were waiting for. Ryu to get a comfort champion that he can carry a game. This guy is absolutely on point, but Ejim, please no.
Looks for the hook.
We're trying to talk here, buddy. Like, just give us a second.
Yeah, Pellicaster's not adapting well to the current meta. 5-2-2, a lot of action going on here. 6-7 currently in kills, but more fights have erupted. Dark Binding was going to connect on someone there, and it was going to be on Ejim. Spooky Ghosts come out. Both lands on Carbon.
I actually think that Spooky Ghosts are really good on this current patch. I'd like to get your thoughts, Yamato, because 40% slow just seems to be really strong during the mid game.
I love it. Like comparing to the old item, it was complete garbage. This one is interesting.
Well, we could have a fight opening up here, or rather, Holy Phoenix just dying. He's looking to put some damage onto the opposing AD carry, but doesn't get it down. Choo also makes its way out with the Grand Challenge already on top of him. Carbon will also bite the dust. And Double Dose goes down. The 1v3 is happening. And Naru likewise doing the same on the other side of the map, but the Ren shuts him down. That's the triple kill coming in for Faldrin, looking for the Quadra. This could be the Penta, chasing after Choo-Choo's, running for dear life. Faldrin almost out of mana, but the gravity field comes down, and so does the hype.
So that means that he will live. Faldrin does not get the pentakill, instead just a Quadra. You see his bounty has been raised a lot, but I actually think that this is a worrying side for the Turkish team, because Ryu was standing underneath the turret, 1v3ing them.
That's right for you, right there. Just back to the Frost Queen's claim, the cute item we were talking about, all this erupted. I think it's great on Morgana because you can always cash in the goal. We've seen a massive influx of support brands, support Zyra, simply because this item gives you a lot of bank. And supports love some bank.
Supposed to indeed love some bank, Yamato. Faldrin and Crystal will be taking up this Dragon, the third one of the game, going over to Turkey. And the Rift Scuffler as well is actually going to survive and live to tell the tale.
Dumbledore needs to be a little bit careful. Threw out a cheeky binding, will just meander his way out of the mid lane. But all of a sudden, all right, let's take another look at this replay. It's a really good setup here by the Oceanic lineup because Holy Phoenix just gets blown up. And this is the worrying sign that I was talking about. Ryu runs underneath the turret and just unloads. Unfortunately, it's onto a support player, which I don't really agree with. He probably could have taken Thaldrin out. But that was a lot of damage.
I think it was a good opportunity for the OPL lineup simply because they saw where the Turkish lineup was positioned on the map, took their opportunity simply because they're behind. I think it was a good decision.
Holy Phoenix is pushing down the middle lane. Not that many towers have gone down for the OC lineup despite the kills that they've been getting. The tower defense has been on point by Turkey. They have themselves picked up 4 towers. Dumbledore is just chilling out, will be played back into his team though. Carbon looking to follow up here. Raidir once again trying to get those auto attacks down, at least for a Ren to slow him out. Fate's Call even used for the support, and the flash comes out, the hook does not connect.
Carbon, turn your W on, buddy. It increases your tenacity.
But oh my goodness, Dumbledore has been all over the place. He's been getting caught left, right, and forced to use his flash. Turkey needs to calm down here because we're reaching those points where Victor, Kalista, and Ryze are going to do massive things.
Oh, hook onto Naru, but instantly into the Zhonya's. Raidir is dropping low here, might be taken out by Crystal. The kick will secure the kill. Great moonfall onto multiple targets from Naru, and Faldrin is going to town. Manages to survive there as well with the health regen, and Choo-Choo is dropping low. Naru looking for this kill as well, looking for the last Luna rush. Ryu trying to turn around, looking for the opportunity to go full Ryze, but it's not going to happen as Naru takes him out with the Moonsilver Blade. And now Choo-Choo's, that is not your side of the map, my friend, and is just trying to get the execute timer down. Got to take some farm on the way out as well and see if he can get this out. Dumbledore did not tag him, and that will be the execute.
But it will also be the Baron for the Turkish lineup after only Holy Phoenix goes down. And that was once again just not understanding where they're strong. It's a Ryze right now. He's 5-2-0. Make sure he's there when the fight starts, not teleporting in on the back end.
As I said, Ryze likes it when people run into him. Ryze is not the kind of guy that wants to chase people. OPL committing into this, it was definitely the wrong decision.
I think we can all agree on that one, but there is still time to come back. 9,000 gold behind. Not the end of the world, as Ryze exists on their team, and he has currently hit the Seraphs and also the Rod of Ages, and is 5-2-0. So, should be able to actually do something in this game, but Naru picked up the Zhonya's Hourglass. We saw even a pick going on to him in the last fight was not enough to make it work. Holy Phoenix, he's 1-4, but still does a ton of damage. Even if you get a pick on him, Faldrin is still on the team.
Yeah, the problem is right now is that as a 1-3-1 unit, Turkey is just way stronger, and Ryze can only answer one of them. So I'm expecting them to once again go back to a 1-3-1 split push, drag Ryu around the map, see if they can catch the OPL lineup in a bad rotation and just force down these turrets.
I completely agree with you. I'm starting to ask myself, why is Faldrin in mid? Is he going to siege? Is he going to hold? What is he doing here? He just go up top lane, push in the wave, and force the Ryze to respond to 2 more lanes.
I think because there is a slow push already forming in the top lane, he wants all the creeps to stack up so he can take it in one fell swoop and not telegraph it, because Choo-Choos can still clean out waves relatively effectively. You can see now he stops past the blue buff, still waiting for that wave to build, then he'll go up there, shove it into the turret.
But the question still remains, who are they going to send up there? There is nothing to respond to.
No one, you pull the trigger right now, that's the only thing you can do.
You have to go in, and Choo-Choos is doing just that, but the bullet time comes in, and the binding from Dumbledore's make sure he can't go anywhere. Naru looking for the 1v1. This is dark times as the Zonius comes out, but the minions are dying. Naru, run away, manages to get out, and that was a one-on-one underneath the turret.
Speaking of pulling the trigger, I think there is no better literal description of it than Misfortune Ultimate.
There certainly is not, and Oceania has just lost the entirety of their base. Another good hook does land, but that's probably going to be enough, because Turkey looks unbelievable.
Yeah, actually the dominoes are just falling down. The hook lands onto Holy Phoenix, but Egypt just can't go in. Carbon gets bound up, he goes down. Raydeer is now 3-4-1, but likely to be 3-5-1 in just a couple seconds here, gentlemen. Naru is now pushing down the bottom lane. All the minions are flooding in. Baron is still available. Holy Phoenix jumping into the enemy team aggressively with the blast, knowing the black shield was on him. And Crystal still very low, but this looks like Turkey's game to lose.
Yeah, it certainly does. They are pushing into the base, but once again, with pretty good patience here, they will retreat. See if they can get the last turret.
I feel like they should just use the money that they just accumulate.
Oh, you must be great fun at parties, mate.
Just go home, finish your items, get the death cap going, get your hourglass for the Morgana. Of course, I was talking about the bank she was making earlier. She has an hourglass already.
1,500 gold up, and Rai is dead. No, he's alive.
Oh, Faldrin's out of there. Ooh, the hook almost landing. That's 3,000 gold, by the way, on Holy Phoenix that he has to spend, and has now gone back to base. So he's sitting pretty on triple items. Faldrin is the only one to stay out on the map. Is sitting on the Black Cleaver and Ravenous Hydra. And it's not looking good for OCE, I'm afraid.
But it looks like they will live past 30 minutes. Got to take the small victories in these ones, Paul.
Silver linings there, Spawn.
Better than Brazil.
We already beat him, mate.
Twice better than Brazil.
Literally twice better than Brazil. Still, I have faith. Something could go wrong. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Dragon is up in 1 second. Maybe can't contest this one, but 5th Dragon voice.
Yeah, it is only number 4, so, you know, once again, got to look at a silver lining. 4th Dragon doesn't really give you that much at the moment.
That's true. And if the game ends, they'll never get 5th Dragon.
They literally just need to group a war towards the base. That's about as much as they need at the moment. But Oceania is still holding on strong.
I mean, they're holding on currently because there's no attack going on. As soon as the attack starts here, Spawn, I'm not sure if you're going to have the same opinion. Holy Phoenix playing the RNG game, looking for the double up onto Choo-Choos. Hook lands onto Crystal. And Crystal is very dead.
That is the correct term.
Holding on strong.
OCE come back. I believe Carbon does not connect the first trophy.
I think
does not
the second
trophy.
They need about, like...
20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes.
10 more of those suicides, and maybe the back. Yeah?
If this game gets to 50 minutes, Oceania will win.
I'll give you that.
Maybe they can just go over there, ask Turkey to take a timeout, tea break perhaps. But Raydeer is farming up. Silver linings. The creep wave is going to the OCE lineup.
And to the bottom lane of Oceania's credit, even though it was a very rough early game, they have come back relatively strong. Raydeer has reached a fairly strong point in the game.
And this tower, I was going to say it needs to be defended, but it will be very difficult to do so. Now down to around 20% HP remaining.
And the one thing about 1-3-1 split pushes is as the map shrinks, it becomes less effective.
That is true.
Now everyone can just defend the waves as a group of 5 because they come in at different times. It's going to be very hard for Turkey to maybe close this one out within maybe 2 minutes.
I have to say though, looking at Ryo's itemization, we already have the Abyssal Scepter on the Victor. I feel like Ryo just needs to build the Void Staff to be able to shred through these targets that are buying so much magic resistance.
Yeah, certainly do agree with that one. Maybe he's just looking at the 1v1 that happened between he and Naru, trying to be able to win that. And this is probably go button because Raydeer's caught.
Raydeer's caught. He's taking so much damage and no one's there to save him. Bullet time comes through. Faldrin already on the back lines will be parrying off the damage coming in from Ryu. and Carbon also caught up by the Dark Binding. Naru has been dragged into the double turret, will have to flash away. Faldrin looking once again for a kill onto Carbon. Maybe if they can get back to base and regen, they can turn around and make this fight happen, but Choo Choo is caught. He'll be going down to Naru, and Double Dose is just on point with all of these bindings. Faldrin dragged into the fountain. He'll eventually go down, but not before the Nexus does too. TCL bring home the win.
And that will be curtains for the Oceanic lineup, but at least they went down swinging. Ryu, especially in that top lane, had a fairly decent game. But so much respect for the Turkish lineup after what was a fairly poor day one, have really exploded back into this tournament, undisputed first place.
Yeah.